Lorraine, this Middle of Nowhere has sort of quietly become kind of an important movie this year. It's just about, in terms of where it was shot, how it was shot, the cast. The cast is getting recognition. Ava's getting recognition. Did you always think you were part of something that was sort of bigger than just, not to say just a movie, but just a movie? I mean, are you feeling that now in any way?
I'm feeling it now, but no, when we shot the film in 16 days, it was guerrilla filming. And we did it for love. I did, and I think all of the other cast members did also, because you read this beautifully written script, and I just said, yes, we'll do it. You know, there were no trailers. There was one trailer that we shared as a production office and a changing room. I say this, you know, if you wanted privacy, you went to your car. There was, at lunch, I remember Ava slicing tomatoes or something, and, you know, we just wanted to make this movie, and every penny was on the screen. And no, I did it because it was an opportunity to play a complex woman in a film that's about something and nothing. And it's rare to just have the opportunities as an actor to be. And again, I keep getting to an age, because I've been doing this, as we all have, for a while, and there are moments when you can just be on film that are so glorious. I'm also very taken with this group of women, because, you know, so often people talk about acting as if, oh, it looks so easy and anyone can do it. And people come to Hollywood and go, oh, I want to be an actor, you know, I've been told I'm really good. And I'm so struck by the extraordinary intelligence with which we approach the craft of it, and the incredible intelligence with which we can talk about it, and then not talk about it. You know?
Because each of us has talked about, like, the craft, but also the magic. Like,
the
things you can explain and the things you
it.
can't explain.
The magic of it.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean, but it's so nice to be smart. Isn't it nice to be really smart? Because I hear how smart we are. And how we get in there and craft it. And you talk about the slivers, and you're talking about, you know, the aspect of improvisation and how freeing that is. And you're talking about, you know, the historical aspects of it, and the commitment to it, and the recognition of the line, this text, and then subtext. You know, people think that we just kind of get up and do this. But I can see us all sitting in bed with those scripts, you know, with pencils, pulling it apart and crafting it, and notating it and annotating it in aspects of the brain for storage to be pulled out and put together in ways that I don't even know how we do it. It's just magic and grace. And it's no accident we're sitting here, because my grandmother used to say, you know, what is for you cannot be for you. And this life is obviously for us. It's magic.
Is that kind of preparation a skill you learn over time, or is, I mean, the sort of cliched version of an acting class is you're in a room and you're doing breathing exercises, or you know, you're doing some sort of improv, but this idea of sort of really bearing down, doing homework in a sense, not just with meeting the people, but just like really bearing down on that script. I mean, how did you in your career come to have that skill?
It's obsession. It's about obsession. It's about craft. I'm really old school. I trained for more years than I know what to do with, so that none of this is off the top of my head, you know, performing arts, Juilliard, Japan. I've studied kabuki, I've studied no, I've studied martial arts, blah, 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 blah. And at the end of the day, that training becomes part of your DNA. It's meant to just meld with you so that you never have to think about it. Because now, to think about what my technique is, I'd be hard pressed to actually teach it, which is kind of an interesting exercise, but I digress. But it's not, I don't know, it's magic. A lot of it is just magic, but this group of women, we've got craft. We've got skills. We've done the exercises, and all of those exercises you talk about are only meant to create a facility in an instrument where the magic, where you avail yourself consistently to the magic, so that, and it is also meant to strengthen the vessel to hold that amount of energy that the magic demands. It comes with energy. And if the instrument isn't strong enough to hold and direct and merge and co-create with the magical energy, bad things happen.
I can see her feeling the spirit.
You know,
So
you
cool.
want this to be a good thing, you know, but it doesn't. It does take a kind of vital force of energy to hold this stuff. You know what I mean.
Rosemary, you referred to Tara earlier, and of course, Mad Men has been in your past. How do TV and film sort of feed off of each other in your career in terms of just developing that kind of craft that you're talking about? I could have asked Carrie the same question, of course, with Scandal, but you know, are the two mediums sort of interchangeable, or are they very different, and how do they relate to each other for you?
For me, there's no difference. You know, I used to think that TV was really fast. Like, we shot really fast, and I'd lose a little patience on a studio movie with like 3 lines for the whole day. You know, I kind of like that, like, I don't know, like you're talking about. Like, hopefully your instrument is sturdy, and then you stir up your unconscious, and you go out there. You know what I mean? And there's a lot more opportunity to let all the magic go when you're not waiting and sitting in your trailer all day. But so I've liked TV for that reason. I've also liked it for, you know, us women. There's some really great roles on TV, you know. I'm doing an arc on the newsroom, so I'm on your set right now. I haven't seen you yet. And speaking of, with the script and the homework, it's Aaron Sorkin, and all I do is sit with that friggin' script because it's so hard. You know what I mean?
And that's a long script, I'm guessing.
It's a lot of script. It's a lot of script. But it's also, I don't see the challenge and the what it requires is all the same.
Yeah.
I think, you know.
I completely agree. Our show Scandal is also like on average 15 to 18 pages longer than a normal 1-hour network drama. So it's very language heavy, as Lorraine knows, because Lorraine came and did an episode with us. And she was, of course, brilliant. And we were honored to have you. For me, I think they're completely the same. It's like working with different directors or different producers or a different location. It's just a different context. But specifically for me doing Django and Scandal, there is no way I could have done Django Unchained without having Olivia Pope in my life, because having Olivia Pope playing arguably the most powerful woman in America on television gave me somehow the creative permission and courage to be somebody so disempowered, who's equally strong, but in such completely different ways. Because there were things about this character, I mean, I felt the same. I felt so, when I got this role, when I said yes to this role, it was because I loved the story, and I loved I knew the story had to be told, but I didn't think that I was maybe the right person to tell it because it terrified me. I mean, it scared the crap out of me to play somebody who has to endure the things that this woman has to endure. And in order for Django's character, for that character's rise into heroism to mean something, the rest of us had to be willing to be in the depths of hell so that he could be the hero of something. And, you know, shooting on a real slave plantation and just kind of being in the historical demons of that kind of what some people call America's original sin was so terrifying to me. But I would have days where Jamie Foxx would lean over and say, "How you doing, Olivia?" to like remind me that when this is over, I get to go back to being that modern, powerful woman, you know, who does own property and runs her own business and symbolizes sort of, in some ways, the answer to Broomhilda's prayers. I mean, Broomhilda dreams of a world where a black woman could have a say about what happens in the White House and have her freedom and own property and vote and be able to live wherever she wants and read and have that not be against the law, you know. So for me, these two, I mean, I shot the film in the 9 months in between season 1 and season 2 with almost no time in between it. And so it was very, they to me are very, they're opposite ends of the spectrum, but they rely on each other for grounding in a way.
Yeah, that's fascinating to me how the roles play off each other. Do you feel like, I mean, you've had such an interesting career already. Do you feel like you've gotten to show sort of every side of yourself yet, or are there sides you're still eager to show?
Oh God, no. Good God, man. I mean, it's not easy for, I mean, I hate to say, like, there are great roles for women and it's amazing. For me, and I love that you're, you know, so young and you've done such an amazing body of work already. Like, I can't wait to see where you take all this. And when we talk about like the older we get, you know, it's amazing to me, not to get too graphic, but I'm at that age where my friends, like, people lose babies, people have their boobs chopped off because they have breast cancer. Like, women go through stuff the older they get, and they get deep, you know what I mean? And their feet are in the mud, like they're on the earth, and they have stories to tell. And it's hard to find them sometimes in our business, you know, and we need them, you know what I mean? It's like, it's as important as the masculine energy and the action movies and the, you know, and to watch you play like this powerful woman and the melding of the masculine and the feminine. No, so when you say how, I don't even think we've gotten started, this group, you know what I mean? I think it's all way down the line, I'm hoping. You know.
The other thing, too, is that unlike, you know, if you play the piano or you play the flute, your instrument is basically the same. I mean, when you go, you may have to tune it, but you're going to the same instrument for the entire career that you have as an artist. The paint doesn't necessarily change. But we are changing every single day. So our instrument, to say, have you shown every facet of yourself? She has a different facet this morning than you had yesterday. So no, never, never.